The most common assumption about leadership is that you take a team, you make money, you make new friends, and you have a ton of fun. Unfortunately, that couldn't be farther from the truth. The realities of leadership is that you are now part psychologist, part babysitter, part HR generalist, part data administrator, and then with whatever time you have left, you are a coach and developer. Unfortunately, no one can be told what leadership is. You have to see it for yourself. My name is Lavi Schechter. For the last 20 years, I've gone from sales to sales training to leadership training. I love what I do. There is no one way to do sales, but there is a right way to do sales. People don't necessarily buy your product, but rather buy the advice that you have to offer. I want to share my knowledge specifically around leadership training. I appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe and like. Let's get started. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you logging in. As always, if you love the content, subscribe, hit that like button. It means a lot to me. It helps the YouTube algorithm quite a bit. And it also just shows some support. Today, we're going to be talking about building a great culture, something I'm extremely passionate about. In my opinion, there are 6 aspects of building a great culture. Number 1, your first one-on-one. Number 2, your benchmarks. Are they clear? Number 3, your feedback system. And when I mean feedback, I mean 360 feedback. The feedback you give and the feedback that you receive. Number 4, are you continuing your own education? Number 5, do you get in the trenches? Let's start talking about your first ever one-on-one with your employee. In my opinion, this is the groundwork and the foundation for what's to be, hopefully, a beautiful, long-lasting relationship. After 20 plus years of being in sales, running teams from anywhere from 3 people up to 120 person teams and an entire sales floor dedicated, I've learned that there's only one lesson when it comes to running your first one-on-one. Do not talk about work. Leave that for other one-on-ones. There will be plenty of time for you to talk about metrics, KPIs, indexing, expectations. Your first one-on-one should be reserved for something as simple as getting to know your people. Are you asking questions about who they are? Where are you from? What made you choose to work here? What is it that you're doing in your personal life? Do you have any goals that you'd like to set this year on a personal level? What do you do for fun? And then finally, if there's time permitting, then yes, ask some questions about how they'd like to be managed. One of my favorite questions to ask one of my new hires is, in your previous experience with bosses or leaders, what is something that you really appreciated about your leader? And what's something that you didn't appreciate about your leader? I love asking this question because it gives me an idea of how this person wants to be managed. And if I know how they want to be managed, I can manage them better. Most people, when I ask them the question, how would you like to be managed? They usually respond with, give it to me straight, always tell me what's on your mind, give me the good, give me the bad, and give me everything in between. I love that answer. I love that answer because yes, you're building a foundation and you're getting to know people, but trust me when I say there will come a time in your relationship that you might have to give someone some honest, direct feedback. And when that day comes, it will be really great if you could reference your first interaction and say something like, hey, do you remember our first interaction? You told me you wanted me to give it to you straight, tell you the good, the bad, and everything in between. So I do have to give you some honest, more direct feedback and then deliver the feedback. 2 amazing things happen when you do this. A, your rep is happy that you remember your first interaction. B, your rep is even happier because you're doing exactly what they asked you to do. That's the importance of that first interaction. That's the real reason why you ask these tough questions in the beginning, so that you could have something to reference when the day comes when you have to deliver some honest feedback.